So if you haven't heard the news already, Amazon has decided to unveil its newest plan. And look, it's nothing short from what you would expect from Amazon, let alone a 2020 type of year. And that's because they have decided to tap into a $4 trillion industry known as the healthcare industry, specifically dealing though with pharmaceutical goods, prescription drugs. We're going to get into all of that here in just a second, what their plan is and how they plan to disrupt what I would call one of the industries that we haven't really seen much innovation since its inception, since the beginning. And look, we all know that the pharmacy industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right around 5, maybe 600 billion, whatever that number seems to float around in. And well, Amazon announced this week that they are launching their newest platform, their newest, I would call, business model, which is Amazon's Pharmacy. Now, let's go ahead and break down a few articles that I have here. What this means for the future of pharmaceutical goods, what this means for other mom and pop type of businesses, maybe even the Walgreens and the CVS's and even the Rite Aids of the world, and how everyone else is going to be affected and what this means for you as the consumer. Let's go ahead and first dive into this article from CNBC, and then I have another article that we really want to pull as much information as we can and then add some dialogue as we go along. Amazon jumps into the pharmacy business with online prescription fulfillment and free delivery for Prime members. Now, the first few bullet points, nothing new. Amazon is making its biggest move in the pharmacy space. Amazon's pharmacy is designed to make it easy and convenient for other prescription drugs, which you'll see how that ties in here in just a second. There's also some savings programs for free 2-day shipping and Prime members. That's nothing yet that's going to shake up the industry, and here's why. If you are, let's say, if you have a Walgreens card, Rite Aid, or even CVS, then you know that you can order specific drugs and specific prescriptions and get that delivered to your door via UPS, USPS, maybe even FedEx, whoever they decide to ship those items out with. So that's nothing new here. In addition to that, if you are wondering, Amazon acquired PillPack, and I pulled it up right here so I can break this down for you. Amazon acquired PillPack back in 2018 for right around, they later disclosed it, right around $753 million. Amazon's PillPack is already a form of distribution that they already had. What Amazon is doing now, though, is they're taking it to the next level where they're having all the distribution and all of the, what I would call, fulfillment in-house. Now, if you're not familiar with what PillPack is, and let me know down on the bottom if you use PillPack. Let me know down in the comments if you use PillPack, because pretty much this is what it is right here. They send you a box either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, however your doctor sets it up for you. It'll have your pills according to the time of the day that you need to take them. In each pack, it tells you what you're drinking according to the milligrams. And then in the back of the box, it'll have this right here. The breakdown, how long that prescription package should go for, the whole 9 yards. Now, a lot of people are wondering, okay, if Amazon already has PillPack, then why would they want to acquire more space in the pharmaceutical, let's say, industry? Why are they making this big plunge? So let's go ahead and dive back into this article and get some answers out of here. Amazon is entering the pharmacy business with its new offering called Amazon Pharmacy, allowing customers in the US to order prescription medications for home delivery, including free delivery for Amazon Prime members. All right, so we already covered PillPack. This is where things start to get a little interesting here. Pharmacy stocks, as soon as they announced this, pharmacy stocks following the launch of Amazon Pharmacy, CVS shares fell 8.6% on Tuesday, Walgreens dropped 9.6%, Rite Aid slid 16.2%, and GoodRx, which GoodRx is a discount card that you can use for your prescriptions, dropped 22.5%, which is interesting. Because if you're looking at GoodRx, or if you have a GoodRx card, or if you've been keeping a close eye on this specific industry, then you'll know that GoodRx only has about 5 million customers. In the entire pool of the pharmaceutical world, write that down or take note of that, it only has 5 million customers. Again, this is a $4 trillion industry. So now let's go ahead and dive a little deeper into how this works. Customers over the age of 18 will have access to pharmacy services In 45 states, not including Hawaii, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, Minnesota, Amazon expects to serve those states. Okay, we have that. But this is where things get really, really interesting, and this is what I want to point out to. Apart from Amazon delivering certain items, and apart from Amazon obviously having that 2-day shipping, which we know that the 2-day delivery doesn't really mean much, especially when you already have Walgreens and CVS offering the same type of service. This is the part where I'm like, okay, this is where we really need to keep an eye on. Prime members can get discounts of up to 80% on generic drugs and 40% on brand name medications when paying, look at that, without insurance. I'm going to go ahead and read that again. Without insurance. This means that mom and pop shops that you maybe have locally, we're not talking about a CVS here, we're not talking about a Rite Aid, and we're not talking about a Walgreens. Those are 3 giants that will compete, just like Walmart has, just like Target has. We're talking about the mom and pop shops that unfortunately they don't have the speed of distribution like an Amazon would. This means that they could possibly get put out of business. Here's why. If Amazon is solely a distribution center, and if Amazon is solely a fulfillment place, this means that they have little to no overhead because they already have that, what I would call, facility set up. They just have to make room. In addition to that, they need far fewer pharmacists within their distribution centers because a lot of it is going to depend on the back end off of robotics. So what does this mean for the future of possible employment? If you're in the pharmacy space, could this be that we could see a decline in employment? Right now, it's a little too soon to tell, but we have seen where Amazon added an additional, 100,000 jobs during the pandemic. But the jobs that they added weren't what you would call anything that you needed to actually get a college degree for. So if you are in the pharmacy space, this is something that I would personally be taking a look at. Also, with the robotics and with them driving down their overhead, they're also shaking up the way that people not just shop, we're going to get to that here in a second, but also the way that insurance works. Because as you know, if you have insurance, your insurance tends to push you more towards certain brand products or certain, maybe go with generic. And then if you have your insurance card, then obviously it's going to be cheaper for you. Let's say if you use your insurance for this medication right here, it's $5. Or if you use your insurance for this medication right here, it's $10, right? The prescription. But with Amazon saying that 80% on generic drugs and 40% on brand name medications without insurance, that right there completely shakes up. I mean, the insurance has already been needing a bit of a, what I would call, facelift. One, because it's so darn expensive. And we can all agree to that. 2, it's so difficult to get into sometimes, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. And then we are having a time where I think that this move by Amazon was perfectly timed twofold. 1, people are already used to shopping online. We're already starting to prepare ourselves as consumers, or have been, I guess, more, what I would say, primed to ordering things online and kind of keeping that distance between us and actually having to go out. Now, that's not everyone, but that's definitely going to be a recurring thing, especially if we continue to see more shutdowns and lockdowns in some areas more than others, specifically with metro and bigger cities. That's the first thing. Here's a second thing that we need to keep an eye on and why this was a brilliant move by Amazon. They are doing this in the middle of a pandemic. How much more market share have they picked up from delivery? From maybe delivery service for food, from delivery service for your items, from now trying to offer the same day, even 1 hour delivery if, let's say, there's a certain product within your area that has a fulfillment center. So the fact that they now see, okay, people now more than ever are health conscious. And then on top of that, they're worried about if they're going to get sick. They already don't want to leave their home, especially if we're speaking to an older crowd, maybe a more mature crowd. They don't want to risk leaving their property. They don't want to risk walking into a Walgreens, dropping off, whatever that looks like. So let me go ahead and maybe have my caregiver or my caretaker possibly put this order in for me. And then Amazon, again, assuming that they're not computer savvy, Amazon is going to go ahead and send that over to me to my home. Because here's the reality. If you are a Amazon member, you are going to have access to over 50,000 different locations, pharmacies, however it is that they're constructing their deals. And then they're already giving access to doctors all across the board so that they can already put the prescription orders in place with Amazon. Now, if let's say you have a CVS, you have a Walgreens, and this entices you to transfer over to Amazon, then they are making it easy for you to just go ahead and transfer your prescriptions. Let your doctor know, hey, look, I now want to go ahead and have my prescriptions put in with Amazon. Here is a possible downside that I see with this though. We have something called antitrust laws. With antitrust laws, it's something that really big that we've been seeing with social media and the way that people's information is just out there. It's being sold to third parties. You're having ads run against you. You're having pretty much all of your information now placed in the hands of third party companies that they can kind of now do whatever they want with it, and then that's why you start to see some really highly targeted ads, and you're wondering, gosh, it feels like someone's listening to my conversation. I talk about I want a toaster, and then all of a sudden an ad comes up for a toaster, because this is going to drive consumer spending up. This could get really scary fast. One, because if those antitrust laws are put into place, specifically with Amazon, Amazon's pharmacy, we know that people like to be a bit more private. I myself included in there. I like to be a bit more private with what, let's say, medications a doctor prescribes to either me, my family members, or my loved ones. That's just something that I would not want to be all over the web, and it's something that they really need to crack down on if they indeed plan on continuing this route, which, again, it looks like they're going to be taking up a lot of market share. That's the first thing. The second thing is with shipping, we have porch pirates. We have bandits, whatever you want to call them. We've all seen the videos, right? Where they steal people's packages right off of their doorsteps, not knowing what the heck it is. This can also be something that they could possibly put some rules in place where if you're not there to physically receive it, I know that I've done that with some of my packages. If you're not there to physically receive something, don't leave it at the door, or a possible Amazon style locker where you would maybe just need to drive a mile, or maybe just if you live in an area where it's at a local grocery store like a Whole Foods, you can literally just drive there and pick it up, which in my opinion would kind of defeat the purpose of having to go out in public to pick up your prescription anyways. I know for a fact that Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid will stay here to compete. Now, is it going to drive down their margins? Absolutely. Are they now going to have to start crunching in with, okay, how many leases can we continue to pick up, as opposed to Amazon not having to pick up any additional overhead because they don't actually own the item, kind of like what they've done with the store itself. They don't physically own the majority of those products. They just have a shelf space. We're going to see CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens are going to have to innovate and compete the same way that Target and Walmart has. So you guys let me know down in the comments if you guys think that this is a great idea by Amazon, if you like it, if you think that there is an extreme overhaul that needs to be done in the healthcare space, specifically with insurance and prescriptions, or if you think that this is absurd and Amazon needs to be stopped because they're just picking up way too much market share in just about every industry. Like I've said before, I'll say it again. There's a love-hate with Amazon. You love them if you're the consumer because it means that you're going to get a better deal for the products that you are already buying somewhere else. And then you hate them if they are leaking in to your industry. So again, let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, and if you found value in this content, go ahead and join the official community by hitting that subscribe button down below. Tap that notification bell so that you can be alerted every time we have videos like this coming out each and every single day. At this point, we're pretty much dropping a video a day, excluding maybe a day or two throughout the week. But hey, who knows? With more interesting things like this coming out, I can definitely see us dropping more content throughout the week. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on here, we're posting on the Insight with Irv show, which is our podcast style channel. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. And again, this video is sponsored by our good friends over at Amazon's Audible. Go figure, right? We spoke about Amazon. Our good friends over at Amazon's Audible, where they've made it super easy and convenient for you to pick up not only a free book, but enjoy a free month by hitting the link down in the description, the same place where you can find the link for and with a coupon code for our YouTube course, which again, I've been getting messages and emails from you guys. You guys are absolutely loving it. I love the fact that you guys are adding different sources of income to your lifestyles, especially in a difficult time like this. So go ahead and take advantage of those links down in the description. Once again, my name is Irvin Pena, but you probably know me as Irv Official. Until next time, everyone, we'll see ya.